Hello, Pattern Realm. Jimi Hendrix here, your success, confidence, and thrive coach. Today, I want to talk to you about, and this is the end of our series, Momentum and Moments. I'm talking about this time principle-centered entrepreneurship. And basically, a lot of the principles that I will be discussing are in my book, The Winning Personality, a values-based approach to entrepreneurship in this economy. You can get it at Amazon and where most books are sold, okay? Now, here's the thing. I have been looking for something to give a speech. And the last video I did where I actually did give a speech, I don't feel like I gave it enough justice. So I'm going to give it enough time to talk to you guys and just really level with you, okay? Because I feel like what I did a few days ago when I made a video was dumb, okay? So we're just going to go ahead and go into this. The first principle. The personality that it takes to be an entrepreneur. Let me tell you something. It's not the extrovert like you think. Extroverts can get themselves into too much trouble. It's not the introvert. Although you can be successful in either one of those. But the most important personality you need, that's the winning personality, is the ambivert. The ambivert is someone that is in between. Someone that loves being out and among the people, but also realizes he or she needs the time for quiet and privacy to come up with their God-given thoughts and ideas to succeed, right? Pretty easy. Pretty self-explanatory. I gotta say this. When I wrote this book, I wasn't sure that I had the winning personality. But the more I spent time writing it, and especially during the publishing process, the adversities I went through to get it published, and it's self-published, by the way. Let me tell you something. I learned a lot about what it took to have the winning personality. Because in personal development, I think people write because of some of their pain points. The thing is, and one thing I've learned from writing is you don't let your pain points overwhelm you. And you don't complicate the process either, so that you don't have too much of an ego. All right. Number 2, a leader. A leader that is principled. A leader that has integrity. A leader that will not compromise his principles, his values, his ethics. His integrity. His or hers. The problem is that, even among Christians, there's still that call in the world to compromise principles. Whereas if you, listen to me, if you honor the Lord in your leadership, in your sphere of influence, whether as an entrepreneur or a thought leader or whatever, you exercise your principles, you keep to them. You don't compromise them. Too many people think it's okay to be a sellout. No, I don't see myself as a sellout. Being a sellout is not a good idea. And here's another thing. When we're talking leadership, people tend to want to hold to the old school industrial age tyrannical model of management. Sorry, but bye-bye. That model doesn't work anymore. We are in a combined age economy. Information, creation, and outcome ages. Okay? And seeing that we're in a combined age, management is obsolete. The carrot stick approach of motivation as a leader is obsolete. It's leadership, where you uplift people, where you edify people, where you build people up. You know, Dale Carnegie said this in his book. He said, and I quote, if you want to get people to do what you want, you have to find out and do what other people want. And there's many drives that push people along to get what they want. There's food, there's sex, there's money, there's a whole bunch of them. But the one thing that people want the most is appreciation. If you're on a network marketing team, for instance, the best thing you can do, stay plugged into your team, edify your team, build it up, be a rock star, be all that you can be. A leader is not someone who looks behind to see who he is following. A leader is someone who knows who he is following as he moves ahead. Okay? And that's why management is obsolete. But yet so many people want to hold on to the traditional industrial age ideals, but it's gone. The rules have changed. It's gone. Okay? As far as this economy. Now, principles and everything, they don't change. They're immutable. Okay? Now, here's the third principle. Creativity. An entrepreneur, I think any entrepreneur has to be creative. Even if they're buying into a system, they have to be creative. But yet the world is so easily, it wants to stomp out creativity. You can't do that and expect someone to be a success. It's along the same line as punishing achievement. Punishing creativity is not the ideal. Entrepreneurs need to be creative. Okay? This is my right brain side. I wish my left brain worked as good as my right side, but I'll tell you something. It's creativity that's got me to where I am today, where I manage at least 2 YouTube channels regularly. One, maybe I need to be a little bit more faithful at. But then again, that's another story. Another dime, another dozen. But creativity. Entrepreneurs need to learn how to be creative in order to build their brand, to work on their branding, to work on marketing to customers, to look beyond selling and doing more consulting. What? But it's sales. Let me tell you something. Since the advent of the 21st century, I gotta be honest with you, people are suspicious of sales. They want you to consult them. And that's why consulting requires more creativity. Okay? It's not hard to think about. Being creative is essential for an entrepreneur. Something you need to do. Now, here's the fourth one. Discipline and determination. Now, I have a story of how discipline and determination impacted my life. I have many, but there's one that strikes out to me the most. Summer of 1991, I was at Chris Cole Rehab Center in Austin, for the blind in Austin, Texas, getting ready to transfer to Texas Tech University. One problem though, making arrangements to pay housing. And I had people from career guidance counselors to people that were well-meaning friends. If you got naysayers as well-meaning friends, love them, hang out with them some, but not too much. Because I was listening to Andrew Womack this morning, and he was talking about the 10 Spies Network. People that are naysayers, they're part of what's known as the 10 Spies Network. People are saying, just get up and go back home. Try another year. I was like, So I did some prayer, I did some fancy footwork, and there was a tentative agreement. I was able to transfer to Texas Tech, just like that. Smooth as silk. Because they did a little finagling, because of discipline and determination. You can't be a successful entrepreneur without discipline and determination, okay? And that goes along with law number 5, of Empower Your Pattern. And that is create your own pattern. It's your routines, it's your habits that help you with discipline and determination. No holds barred, no excuses, no part around, fraud around, if you know what I mean. You need that. Number 5, ethics. Sure, there are plenty of professional codes of ethics and the like. Sure, that's important. But I'll tell you where I get most of my ethics. And even well-meaning Christians don't think about this. This book here, the Bible. John C. Maxwell wrote a book called There Is No Such Thing as Business Ethics. There's just ethics. The golden rule. The golden rule. You want to learn how to behave ethically as a businessman? Why don't you read the Bible? Particularly the Proverbs. Proverbs is a wonderful place for business wisdom. I try to read a proverb a day to see how it can bless me in my life. Because you get many ethical lessons. In a video I did last year sometime, I did a lesson on Proverbs. How that each pattern has a proverb that you can use in order to tap into that proverb. That's where ethics comes in. That's where principles come in. People say, well, you talk about faith in God and all that stuff, and you said that your ethics are found in the Word of God. But what if I don't believe in God? Believe in yourself. Believe in the process. But me, myself, as it says in Joshua 24, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Because we love the Lord. We stand with the Lord. Okay? So if you want to know where you can find your ethics, it's in here. It's in here. Okay? Number 6, faith. I'm a devout Latter-day Saint. I do my best to read scriptures every day. The Bible, and of course, the Latter-day Saint scriptures as well. But more emphasis really on the Bible. you have to have faith. Okay, listen to me. You may be a multimillionaire or a billionaire and have a dozen holding companies and a staff that just kneels and bows and grovels at everything you do. But if you don't have the priority of faith, particularly faith in God to ground you, you have nothing. When I was writing The Winning Personality, I came to God. I said, God, I want you to make me wealthy. But at the same time, keep me humble. Oh, Heavenly Father, please keep me humble. Because the last thing I wanted to do is have a downfall because I'm all prancing around town. Oh, look at me. I'm rich. I can do whatever I want. The rest of you are stupid peons. That's not what I want. I want to say, hey, let me take you higher. You're struggling. I'm prospering. Let me help you build yourself up. Think about it. Faith means that you keep your dependence on God instead of money. You know, Bill Britt, who is a multimillionaire, he once said, if you forget where you come from, God will make sure that you go back there. He will. I'll tell you right now, he will. So learn. Learn what God's called you to do, be, and have. Learn, understand, and see as much as you can. And faith is one of the best ways it starts. All right. Number 7, goals. Let me tell you something. This is one of the most important principles in entrepreneurship. You need to have some specific goals. Now, spiritual goals, marital and personal goals, and business goals. Okay? There is really no magical number of goals, but I've written down 30 because how important it is for me to see and understand. You write your goals down and do your best to look at them every day. It's easy to want to feel discouraged because, you know, you're nowhere near your goal. Adjust your goals so it can be realistic. But don't, at the same time, don't lower your standards. People say, well, lower your expectations, be more realistic. Yes, be realistic, but raise your standards. So you can't go around with your goals thinking, oh, the glass is half empty. You have to have this, you know, hey, glass half full with the potential of having a whole bunch of glasses half full. Okay? Learn. Understand this. You need to have goals. You need to have principled goals for your life. And the sooner you understand this, the better off you're gonna be able to grasp this. Having goals is important. Number 8. This is key here for you now if you'll listen, pay attention. Number 8 is networking. How's that a principle? How can you be a successful business person if you don't find a way to network? Dr. Del Toro, II, in his book, Caught Between a Dream and a Job, said this: network like it's going out of style. Okay? You need to have this. Go to certain industry-specific events, to whatever business you want to go into. Find community organizations that may have some people and may have some similar goals. Who you hang out with determines who you become. If you hang out with idiots and nincompoops with advice worth a dime a dozen, then that's what you get. That's what you become. You become an idiot and a nincompoop. Okay? But if you hang out with smart people that are success-minded, that are either gone where you want to go, or are going in that direction, and guess what? You can cheer each other on. You can lift each other up. Like I said, when it comes to networking, be careful. Proverbs 13:20 says, "He that walketh with wise men shall be wise." Think about that. Find people with understanding much deeper than your own, instead of just being a lone ranger trying to figure it out yourself. Okay? But networking is a way to help you find a good path for yourself so you can achieve, okay? In fact, I think that's a skill I need to learn, the principle I need to learn a little bit better in order to succeed. Because there always is someone who's been where we want to go. And if we just follow their advice, we can find wisdom and grow and learn. There you go. Number 9, service. What? The principle of service, Jimmy? Are you out of your mind? The best entrepreneurs serve. Serve their customers. You know what? I think it'd be a good idea to have entrepreneurs involved in the political process, serving for the benefit of not just their industry, but the people around them, their sphere of influence. Be a positive influence. That's what service is all about. John F. Kennedy, he said this in his inaugural address. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Service. It's like what Jesus said of the King, which is him. It says, "Inasmuch as ye have done it unto the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me." The best entrepreneurs are the ones that serve. You have to have a servant's heart, I think, to be a successful entrepreneur. Finally, the last principle, and this is one that I know nobody wants to hear about, but it's one I like to talk about as an adversity educator. Number 10, the principle of adversity. Oh, no, Jimmy, come on. You can't be talking about adversity right now. Some of the best entrepreneurs have found their path in some of the deepest adversity. I think about a historic theologian in my faith. His name was Heber J. Grant. Let me tell you something. He became successful in business. But then, boom, the panic of 1893 hit. It wiped out people's savings. It wiped out his businesses, everything. He was able to get back everything within a few years. But you know what? He said this when he led the church in the Great Depression. He said, if it wasn't for the panic of 1893, God wouldn't call me to lead the saints through the Great Depression. Adversity. I'm gonna list an adversity, if you will, that's happened several years ago. In 2021, my mother moved out of the house. And as you know, for a little over 3 years, I suffered from deep loneliness. deep loneliness. And then in July of 2024, I had a chance to get reacquainted with a woman who is now my wife. I'd known each other for about a year and a half then. We know each other for 2 years now. And let me tell you something. Were it not for adversity, I don't think the environment would be as fertile as it is now. I'm telling you, as an adversity educator, adversity breeds fertile ground. Whether you want to admit it or not, you can overcome it. It was breaking my leg that led me to become a podcaster. It was fracturing my skull that led me to become a published author. And it was having my mother move out of the house that led me to be a happy husband now. Now you have the success, the principles of entrepreneurship, something that can benefit your life. I hope you enjoy watching. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of Pattern Realm. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, don't just sit there and take it. Go out there and build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can have what others can't. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. God bless you. Remember this, from the bottom of my heart, Jimmy loves you. I really, 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 really love you. God bless you, and please have a blessed day. Empowered blessings. I love you.